Unveiling the 7 sacred signs of an unseen journey beyond death. I never expected a single dream to change everything. It was a night like any other, yet as I closed my eyes, the world transformed into something profound. I found myself standing at the edge of a dark forest, its trees pausing in eerie stillness, their towering forms shrouded in mist. Each breath felt electric, a jolt of energy coursing through my veins. I could hear whispers, words drifting through the air like fallen leaves. "Look for the signs," they urged. "They will guide you, doubt not at me." I often questioned my own intuition, fearing I was just chasing shadows. But something pulled me forward, deeper into the unknown. My heart raced, a wild drumbeat in my chest as I felt the presence of unseen eyes watching. The shadows shifted, and I caught glimpses of faint lights flickering, revealing a path just for me. A path lit by the 7 sacred signs that would change my existence forever. The first sign appeared, an owl, its eyes glowing like twin moons, staring directly into my soul. "Wisdom," it seemed to say. "Take heed." I felt its gaze pierce through the haze of my confusion, bringing clarity like a sunrise scattering the darkness. Then came the second, a flicker of brilliant orange fireflies, swirling around me, casting delicate patterns of light. They danced and I could almost hear their laughter, a reminder of life's fleeting beauty. Next, a heavy silence settled in. Time stretched, becoming tangible. I sensed the weight of my thoughts crashing like waves, and I wondered, was this a connection to something greater? The third sign emerged, a sudden chill in the air, then the scent of earth after rain, grounding me to the moment. In that stillness, I found comfort, but also a growing tension. What awaited me beyond this threshold? The forest closed in tighter, its secrets layered like deep shadows. I flinched at a flash of movement. Was it just a trick of the light, or the 4th sign? A deer, ghostly white, paused mere feet from me, its eyes reflecting my own fears. It was a reflection, an invitation to confront the fragility of life. I swallowed hard, heart racing. What did this mean? Where was this path leading? A rustling filled the air, whispering old stories. My pulse quickened as fear and excitement mingled. The 5th sign burst for the fallen branch, gnarled yet adorned with tiny green shoots, insisting that life persists even in decay. My mind raced. I longed for answers, a deeper understanding. Would these symbols reveal truths I wasn't ready to face? Then, the sky shifted. Dark storm clouds gathered, swirling ominously above me. The 6th sign was a clash of thunder, a deafening declaration that echoed through my very bones. I felt adrenaline surge, the atmosphere charged with raw energy. I realized then that perhaps power comes from embracing change, rather than resisting it. I stood my ground, demanding clarity. Just then, the 7th sign illuminated the chaos, a gentle glow, a single tear cascading down my cheek. I felt the weight of hope mingling with despair. Questions swirled in my mind like the tempest above. What if these signs were more than mere coincidences? What if they were a message that transcended life itself? I closed my eyes, surrendering to the unknown. The energy around me pulsed with potential, each heartbeat a reminder that everything was shifting and I was on the precipice of an extraordinary journey. But where would it lead? What lay beyond the realm of life and death? I opened my eyes, the darkness deepening, and realized that some answers might not come easily. Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The forest pulsed with a life of its own, each rustle and whisper wrapping around me like a shroud. As the weight of the darkness hung thick in the air, I took a deep breath, focusing on the sensations swirling around me: fear, curiosity, and a burgeoning anticipation for what lay ahead. I moved cautiously, the ground crunching softly beneath my feet. The once quiet shadows now painted vivid tapestries of possibility in my mind. Suddenly, the light shifted, and I stumbled upon a gathering of stones arranged in a circle. Each rock seemed imbued with an energy, their surfaces smooth yet rugged, as if shaped by centuries of resilience. I knelt between them, drawn to their aura. This sacred place exuded a power that transcended the mere physical. It was a monument to the past, a marker of countless souls who had walked the path before me. As I sat in meditation, I felt a surge of warmth envelop me, a comforting embrace that whispered of acceptance. In the heart of this circle, the silence transformed into a cacophony of memories, echoes of laughter, sorrow, and love intertwined with the rustle of the leaves. Suddenly, a voice surged from within, breaking through the stillness. Remember, you are not alone in your search. The words resonated with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine. I looked up, surprised to see a shimmering figure emerging from the mist, a woman clad in ethereal robes, her face too radiant to be human. She bore an otherworldly grace, and as she approached, the air crackled with energy, the space shifting around us. I am the keeper of the signs, she said, her voice rich and melodic, echoing like a song of galaxies. You have begun to unravel the threads of your existence, but there are deeper layers yet to uncover. My heart raced at her revelation. Could it be that these signs were merely the surface of a much grander vision? She gestured to the surrounding forest, now alive with new sounds, gentle whispers mingling with the rustling leaves. Each creature seemed to dance to a rhythm beyond comprehension, a language understood only by those willing to listen. See the world around you, she instructed, her gaze piercing through the veil that separated our realms. Revelations often come not from the pursuit of answers, but from embracing the questions. With that, she motioned for me to stand and follow. We stepped into the forest together, the surroundings morphing with every stride. The light danced through the trees, casting prismatic hues across the path. I could feel the pulse of the earth beneath me, connected and alive, as if the very ground breathed in tandem with my curiosity. Every few moments, a new sign emerged: a shimmering butterfly landing softly on a branch, its wings a blend of colors that seemed to defy nature. Transformation, the woman whispered, and I felt its truth resonate in my core. It dawned on me that to embark on this journey meant leaving behind my old self and embracing the mysteries of transformation that lay ahead. Further along our path, we encountered a pool of water nestled among stones, its surface mirroring the sky. As I crouched by the edge, I caught sight of my own reflection, distorted yet beautiful. "What do you see?" she asked gently. I hesitated, grappling with the swirling thoughts of who I was versus what I might become. "I see possibilities," I finally replied, each word tinged with wonder. "Indeed. Every choice unfolds a new branch on your tree. Remember that, for in this journey, it is not about reaching a destination, but savoring each moment of discovery." Her words intertwined with the sounds of the forest, weaving through the air like a melody, urging me to reflect. As we continued, I became aware of the sensations in the forest shifting again. The air crackled with a tension, a storm brewing not far from where we walked. The atmosphere was thick, charged like static electricity, and I could feel my own excitement building. What revelation awaited on the edge of this tempest that mirrored my own inner struggles? Suddenly, bolts of lightning danced in the distance, illuminating the sky in beautiful yet chaotic bursts. "Embrace the storm," the keeper instructed, her voice firm yet soothing. "It is through turmoil that we often unearth our true selves." The storm reveals the raw power within. Glimpses of doubt and fear flickered in my mind. Would I be ready to face what lay hidden beneath my own surface? At that moment, the questions loomed larger than before. What awaited at the heart of the storm? What truths could I confront only by surrendering to the chaos around me? As I felt the wind whip through my hair, I realized that this journey was about exploration far beyond the physical world. It was a dive into the depths of my spirit, the whispers of my heart rising like echoes through the storm. Each sign, a piece of the intricate puzzle urging me to delve deeper. In the eye of that storm loomed an unshakable truth. The answers waiting for me would demand courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to embrace uncertainty. But as I ventured onward, every pulse of energy around me ignited a spark of profound inquiry. What would I discover on this unknown path? What deeper layers of wisdom would reveal themselves amid the thunder and light? The storm crackled with vibrant energy, a symphony of thunder and lightning that echoed my own tumultuous thoughts. As the rain began to patter against the leaves, I sensed a shift in the air, a call to immerse myself fully into the unfolding chaos. The keeper walked beside me, her presence unwavering as we pressed onward through the relentless downpour. The forest transformed, each raindrop seemed to amplify the colors around us, the green of the leaves brighter, the brown earth deeper, as if the storm was not merely a harbinger of turmoil but a catalyst for awakening. "Nature offers signs, even in moments of chaos," she said, her voice rising above the tumult. "What do you perceive in this dance of duality?" I closed my eyes briefly, allowing the sounds of the world to wash over me. Rhythm of the rain, the rustling leaves, the distant growls of thunder, all converging into a message that echoed within me. "I sense possibility," I breathed, the word a whisper of acceptance. "It's as if the storm embodies a cleansing, a release of what no longer serves." "Precisely," she affirmed, her expression glowing with approval. "You are beginning to understand that through the tempest lies renewal and rebirth. Each storm brings forth its gifts if we are willing to embrace them." As we ventured further, we stumbled upon a colossal tree, its gnarled roots twisted and revealing. The trunk was remarkably wide, and its branches stretched out like welcoming arms against the backdrop of the storm. "This is the tree of reflection," the keeper said, gesturing toward its ancient presence. "Here, you can see the intertwining paths of past, present, and future." As I traced my fingers along its bark, the texture spoke to me of strength and endurance. I closed my eyes again, and in my mind's eye I began to see glimpses of my life, fragments of memories that rose like ghosts in the storm, laughter shared with friends, moments of defeat, and quiet triumphs. "The tree holds your history," the keeper whispered, "but also your potential future. Each branch represents a choice yet to be made. What if I choose the wrong branch?" I interjected, the weight of uncertainty pressing against me. "Choices are not mistakes but lessons, they are signposts on your journey. Fear not their outcome, for every choice leads to growth and understanding," she replied with a gentle firmness. Suddenly, I felt a surge of profound energy polarizing within me. A vision unfolded, an intricate web of choices sprawled before my mind's eye, branching out in myriad directions, each shimmering with potential, flawed yet beautiful. Was I ready to embrace the unpredictability that came with every decision? As if reading my thoughts, the keeper placed her hand on my shoulder. There is one more sign you must uncover tonight, she urged, her voice a beacon of calm amidst the chaos. Follow the murmurs of the winds, they will direct you. Guided by her words, I turned, allowing myself to be swept along the moving shadows, the forest holding its breath as I chased after the whispers. I felt my heart race, propelled by an unseen force, until I reached a clearing where the wild grasses danced with fervor. Here, the storm's intensity seemed to illuminate an even deeper truth. A sudden gust of wind swirled around me like a cyclone, a vortex of energy spiraling inwards. I steadied myself, the sound of crashing thunder within my chest resonating with my spirit. What is this sign? I shouted above the roaring winds. All storms must pass, and with them they bring clarity, the keeper replied, her voice rising with the wind. What is your heart yearning for amidst this tumult? What do you seek beyond fear? As the winds whipped around me, I allowed myself to surrender to its might, heart open to the surge of questions blooming within. The sensation of flight rushed through me, and in that moment of vulnerability and release, I glimpsed clarity concealed within the chaos. It was an urge to confront my deepest fears, to challenge the inner narratives that held me captive. In that fleeting moment of stillness within a storm, a question bloomed. Could it be that in surrendering to life's turbulence, I might discover the most profound aspects of my spirit? Would vulnerability unveil layers of wisdom I had never dared to explore? These questions lingered, hanging in the air like the remnants of the storm clouds above. I stood poised at the edge of a revelation, trembling with anticipation or readiness to embrace the unknown that awaited me further along this transformative journey. The wind slowly calmed, settling into a gentle hum that caressed my skin, as if cradling me in its tender embrace. The storm, while fierce, had sheltered insights that wrapped around my heart like warm tendrils of light. I opened my eyes to find the keeper's gaze fixed on something beyond the confines of the clearing. The forest speaks on multiple frequencies, and only those attuned can hear the whispers of the sacred signs, she said, her voice softening like the fading storm. What do you mean? I asked, curiosity igniting within me. There are 7 sacred signs that guide those seeking truth in the aftermath of chaos, she explained, her eyes shimmering with ancient wisdom. Tonight, you will receive them, but only if you allow yourself to be open to the unexpected. With each word, I felt an electric anticipation build within me. The keeper stepped forward, inviting me to remain close as she led the way through the now still forest. The rich aromas of the earth and the drenched foliage filled the air, grounding me in the moment. As we walked, I began to notice unusual markings etched into the ground, symbols made by the rain that had pooled into delicate patterns. I knelt down, tracing one with my fingertips, a spiral recessed into the soil, radiating warmth. This is the sign of reclamation, the keeper murmured, observing my curiosity. It encourages you to reclaim all that you are, to see the beauty even in your experiences of loss. Reclaiming, is that essential to recognizing my path? I asked, pondering the unfurling meaning. Indeed. Every storm brings with it remnants of what we must gather and integrate, she responded. As we venture further, be vigilant, for the next sign may appear inconspicuous but will hold a lesson too large to ignore. We walked in silence, the forest seemingly whispering its secrets to us. Soon we arrived at a thicket where moonlight dripped through the leaves, illuminating a tangle of branches. Suddenly, a flash of blue caught my sight, a butterfly delicately flitting among the shadows. Ah, the sign of transformation, the keeper called softly. Like the chrysalis, you too must surrender to the process of becoming. Watching the butterfly dance through the darkness, I felt a pang of longing in my chest and eagerness to shed my own layers of doubt and fear. What steps must I take to invite this transformation? I questioned, already envisioning the metamorphosis awaiting me. Embrace the discomfort of change. It is through vulnerability that we emerge anew, the keeper replied, eyes shimmering like starry skies. Let your heart lead the way, for each sign will offer direction, yet it is you who must choose to follow. We continued walking, and as twilight deepened, the forest came alive with subtle sounds, rustling leaves, distant calls of nocturnal creatures, and the soft whisper of water nearby. We arrived at a small brook, its waters shimmering like silver. I knelt beside it, my reflection gazing back at me with curiosity. This is the sign of clarity, the keeper said, her voice low but imbued with gravity. Reflect on your thoughts and emotions deeply, they will illuminate your path. Staring into the brook, I recognized a flicker of truth I hadn't acknowledged before, an array of emotions both fearful and hopeful. Am I ready to dive into such depths? I wondered aloud. You owe it to yourself to explore the entirety of your spirit, she urged. Allow the waters of understanding to wash over you, cleansing those fears that cling like shadows. As I felt the cool water trickle through my fingers, I abruptly stood, invigorated by the revelation. One by one, we continued to gather signs, the fluttering of a leaf, the sound of a distant owl, the sight of a star peeking through the branches. Each embodied the next sacred lesson. A reminder of patience, intuition, and a profound interconnectedness with all that exists. As we moved deeper into the night, I felt a sense of unfolding within me, a series of layers shedding with each sign we discovered. Yet, despite the wisdom collected, an insatiable question stirred my heart: what lay beyond these signs? Amidst all the revelations, were these signs merely reflections of my own struggles? Or did they lead to a more profound understanding of existence, hinting at a truth that transcends the very cycle of life and death? The journey felt both personal and universal, intertwining my spirit with the very fabric of the universe. With each step forward, I felt drawn into a web of mysteries that beckoned me ever deeper into the unknown. What awaited me beyond death, beyond this corporeal form? And as the keeper walked beside me, I could feel that I was only beginning to scratch the surface of what it meant to awaken fully. The night wrapped around us like a thick velvet cloak, the air infused with the scent of damp earth and sweet blossoms. I could feel the anticipation rising within me, mingling with an undercurrent of trepidation. The keeper paused beside a towering oak, its gnarled roots sprawling outward like the outstretched fingers of a spirit reaching out to touch lost realms. This tree, she said solemnly, is a testament to endurance. Its bark carries the tales of storms survived and seasons, a living sign of resilience. I stepped closer, resting my palm against the rough texture of the tree. The energy pulsing through it resonated with my own heartbeats, a harmonic rhythm pulsating with memories of trials faced and battles fought. Does resilience mean conquering my fears? I asked, wondering if it was that simple. Resilience is the gentle acknowledgement of fears while choosing to rise despite them, she replied, her gaze tender. The tree teaches us that strength often lies in stillness and grounding oneself in the moment. To understand this sign, you must delve into the roots of your soul, understand where you come from to know where you shall go. Closing my eyes, I envisioned my own roots, the tangled history of pain and joy, love and loss. With each breath, I aimed to draw strength from that foundation, sensing the sap of my life pulsing with new vigor. When I opened my eyes, the forest shimmered with renewed clarity, the shadows shifting as if revealing more than just space but layers of unseen truths. Each sign will deepen your understanding, but it will also provoke questions, the keeper warned gently. Therefore, keep seeking beyond what is presented. We resumed our journey, stepping cautiously through an underbrush alive with soft murmurs and whispers. Before long, the glimmer of low-hanging branches arrested my attention. Nestled among them, a small, luminous orb emanated a soft golden light. Brilliance, the keeper murmured, is our next signal reminder of the light that resides within, waiting to be expressed. That I approached the orb, drawn toward its warmth. How do I allow this brilliance to shine? I asked, captivated yet apprehensive of the responsibility it may bring. By embracing your unique gifts and sharing them unreservedly. Understand that the world needs your light, even when it appears dim against the vastness of the universe, the keeper urged. Let your brilliance disperse the shadows of uncertainty. Illuminate the spaces where fear lodges itself. I took a deep breath, internalizing her words. It was a call to authenticity, a beckoning to embrace that which made me unique, however uncomfortable. A flicker sparked within me, a realization that in sharing my light, I might ignite hope in the hearts of others. But even as thoughts of brilliance danced in my mind, a shadowed question loomed: what if the brilliance was too bright? What if I was unable to face the vulnerability that came with such exposure? Ah, therein lies another sign, the sign of vulnerability, she whispered as if reading the turmoil within me. To shine is to risk, but vulnerability is the bridge that connects hearts, inviting nourishment and empathy. Each revelation weighed heavily yet equally enlightened me, as though a symphony of wisdom began to weave through my consciousness. The forest now resonated with a renewed sense of purpose, a choir of nature interlaced with my soul's awakening. As we wandered deeper, a chorus of night creatures hummed around us, creating a tapestry of sound and silence. We arrived at a serene pond reflecting the stars above, a perfect mirror, shimmering with ethereal beauty. This is the sign of unity, the keeper said, kneeling beside the water. Here, you will reflect not only on your own desires but also on your interconnectedness with all beings. Peering into the pond, I saw the reflection of the universe swirling through the cosmos, interlaced with my own essence. Thoughts flared me, struggles and strengths were mere threads in the tapestry of existence, collectively woven with the countless journeys of others. It was both humbling and exhilarating. Is everything connected? The pain, the joy, the lessons? I pondered aloud, grappling with the enormity of the realization flooding my heart. Indeed, she affirmed, her voice like the soothing balm of gentle water. Every encounter and lesson is interconnected, echoing through the collective consciousness. To grasp this unity will unveil deeper truths and empower your journey forward. Yet, even within this newfound clarity, I wrestled with an unresolved a tenuous thread connecting hope and despair. What if my search for unity led to an overwhelming awareness of suffering? As I sat beside the pond, cradled in this moment of profound insight, a question fluttered at the edge of my psyche: how to move beyond the fear of that suffering while remaining compassionately aware? Could I transform that awareness into a force for change without losing my own light amidst such shadows? With each step we took away from the pond, a deepening curiosity accompanied my journey. I felt as if I were on the precipice of a deeper unveiling, a truth ever looming just beyond reach, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. What further signs awaited in the folds of shadows, and would they guide me to the core of the mystery anchored in life and beyond? The night whispered, and my spirit stirred, hungry for illumination yet tempered by reverence for the unknown that still lay ahead. As we ventured deeper into the forest, the trees seemed to close in around us, each trunk weaving a tapestry of shadows that danced beneath the pale light of the moon. The air felt charged with a vibrant energy, resonating with the pulse of ancient life. A sense of anticipation thrummed through me, and I wondered what the next sign would reveal. The keeper stopped suddenly, tilting her head as if listening intently to the whispers of the wind. The next sign awaits us, she said, her voice thick with reverence. But first, you must confront the echoes of the past. Before us lay a clearing encircled by trees, their leaves shimmering like fragments of lost memories. In the center stood a weathered stone altar, its surface etched with symbols that seemed to swirl and shift in the moonlight. "This is the sign of remembrance," the keeper explained. "To honor the past is to acknowledge both the lessons and the legacies that shape our present and future. Approach the altar and reflect on what has shaped your journey thus far." Walking to the altar, I placed my palms against the cool stone, feeling the weight of countless lives that had stood here before me. Memories washed over me like waves, moments of joy and sorrow, triumph and defeat. I began to see the faces of loved ones, each weaving their own narratives into the fabric of my existence. It was in this stillness that I realized how their struggles and dreams intertwined with mine. "What do I do with this past?" I whispered, feeling the swell of emotion rise within me like a tide threatening to overflow. "How do I carry it without being overwhelmed by its weight?" "Embrace it with gratitude," the keeper advised softly, her presence grounding me as the emotions surged. "Each experience has gifted you wisdom and strength. Allow it to inform your journey but not dictate it. Remember, remembrance is not the same as grief. It is an acknowledgement that brings insight." That I closed my eyes, letting the warmth of acceptance envelop me. Each lesson brought forth from the past shone with clarity, illuminating the path I had walked. I felt lighter, a sense of grace anchoring my spirit. But as I opened my eyes, the question lingered, would I ever be fully free from the shadows of those memories? Was forgiveness part of this journey, and how might I navigate its complexities? "Forgiveness is the next sign," the keeper declared, as though answering my unspoken fears. "It is not about dismissing pain, but rather, choosing to release the hold it has over you. To forgive is to reclaim your power." That I hesitated, the concept stirring within me a mix of fear and longing. But what if forgiveness feels impossible? What if it feels like an erasure of my pain? "It is human to struggle with this," she acknowledged, her eyes reflecting understanding. "Know that forgiveness is a process, not a single destination. It is a gift you grant yourself, not the one who caused the pain. It allows the heart to soften, creating space for healing." The weight of her words settled within me, illuminating the dimensions of forgiveness I had yet to explore. It intrigued and terrified me in equal measure. As we turned away from the altar, I noticed a path lined with wildflowers glowing faintly in the dim light. Each blossom pulsed with the rhythm of life, vibrant yet ephemeral. "Follow the flowers," the keeper instructed, leading me down the path. "They signify growth and evolution that arises from the soil of experience. Life, like them, thrives on change." As we walked, I contemplated the blossoms. Each one seemed a marker along the journey of growth, triumphs intertwined with failures, lessons infused with love. I began to understand that growth was not linear. It meandered like the path beneath my feet, sometimes obscuring the way forward but always moving toward the light. "What if I'm afraid of change?" I mused, brushing my fingers against a petal, soft and inviting. "What if I resist the very growth that could lead me to the truth?" "It is natural to fear change," the keeper replied, stopping to touch a flower with gentle reverence. "Yet growth requires movement, from comfort to discomfort, from knowing to unknowing. Reflect on this. What will you sacrifice to blossom into your fullest self?" The question hung heavy in the air, stirring a deeper yearning within me. What was I willing to let go of? What parts of myself needed to be shed to allow for rebirth? The allure of embracing those uncertainties filled me with a passion that felt both exhilarating and fearful. We continued along the floral pathway, and I felt the rising tension between my desire for clarity and my fear of the unknown. Each step forward was lit with the colors of potential yet shadowed by doubt. What awaited me in the revelations ahead? As the path opened into another clearing filled with shimmering moonlight and the scent of fresh earth, I came to a halt. I was acutely aware that greater insights lay just beyond the horizon, like veils waiting to be lifted. The journey was uncovering pieces of a profound mystery, and still I wondered, would every sign illuminate a thread of understanding, or would they lead me deeper into the labyrinth of my soul, where answers remained just out of reach? The moon hung low in the sky, casting a silvery glow over the clearing as if tuning an invisible string between my heart and the universe. The flowers shimmered like small constellations, their delicate petals whispering secrets that felt both distant and familiar. The keeper faced me, her expression serene yet resolute. "Beyond forgiveness lies the realm of connection," she said, her voice weaving through the night like a gentle breeze. "You must learn to recognize the ties that bind you, not only to your past but also to the present and the countless souls navigating the same currents of existence." I took a deep breath, the scent of blooming flowers mingling with the earthy aroma of the soil. The air pulsed with possibility as I began to grasp the enormity of her words. "Connection," I repeated softly, letting the concept echo within. "Is it not what we seek as we journey through life?" "Indeed," she replied, stepping aside to reveal a glimmering stream that wound its way through the clearing. The water flowed with an unceasing rhythm, reflecting moonlight like a living mirror. This stream symbolizes life's interconnectedness, a conduit of souls both seen and unseen. To understand your place within it is to embrace the essence of all that is. As I approached the edge of the water, I knelt, mesmerized by the gentle ripples. Each movement seemed to resonate with vibrations that echoed deeply within me. "How do I recognize these connections?" I asked, my voice low and filled with anticipation. "By immersing yourself in compassion both for others and yourself," the keeper replied, her gaze steady and assuring. "Begin by honoring the moments where you felt deep connections, where the borders between self and other blurred and revealed the truth of our shared existence." I closed my eyes, letting memories unfurl like petals in the breeze. I recalled instances when a stranger's smile had ignited warmth within me, or when I had felt profoundly understood by a loved one. Closer still, I could feel the connection between my own heart and the lives of those who had walked before me. "Is that the essence of empathy?" I asked, my heart swelling with the realization. "Yes," the keeper affirmed. "Empathy transcends the individual experience, allowing us to step into another's shoes, to feel their joys and sorrows. It deepens your understanding of the universal threads that bind us all." The current of the stream glimmered invitingly, and I felt a pull to immerse myself in its embrace, to honor the tears shed and laughter shared across the tapestry of existence. How do I cultivate more empathy in a world that often feels divided? I pondered, the weight of that challenge settling upon my shoulders. "Start small," she encouraged, watching as the water danced with her words. "Listen to the stories of those you encounter, be present, and allow their truths to touch your heart. With each act of understanding, you expand the circle of connection, creating bridges where walls once stood." I nodded, the resonance of her teachings igniting a spark within. The stream became a metaphor for my own journey, endless, flowing, and willing to adapt to the shapes it encountered. Yet, as the moon illuminated the way forward, a question bubbled to the surface: could I truly embrace this empathic awareness without losing my individuality in the process? "Embrace the boundaries of your being," the keeper advised gently, as though reading my thoughts. "Your identity is not diminished by connection, it is enriched." You belong to this network of life, and as you nourish it with love, you ultimately nourish yourself. With newfound clarity, I looked at the stream once more and marveled at the delicate balance it struck, each drop of water individual, yet part of a greater whole. The realization surged within me, perhaps it was in this balance that I would uncover the next layer of understanding. The sound of flowing water began to intertwine with a subtle melody that seemed to emerge from the depths of the forest. "What is that?" I asked, the music beckoning me into the unknown, the song of the unseen. The keeper replied, her eyes glimmering like the stars above. "It calls forth the echoes of ancestors and the wisdom they hold. If you wish to hear it more clearly, you must attune your spirit to its frequency." As the melody washed over me, I felt the call of something ancient and profound, resonating with the vibrations of my own soul. I yearned to engage with this unseen world, to tap into its depth, and explore the layers of wisdom it held. Yet, the question lingered, how do I remain open to this unseen connection without losing the essence of who I am? What might I discover if I dared to listen, not only to the world around me but to the whispers of my own heart? The mystery deepened, layers unfolding like petals in the night, each one holding the promise of revelation yet to come. The night unfolded like a tapestry, and as the song of the unseen wrapped around me, I felt a shift in the atmosphere, as if the very air held a pulsing heartbeat belonging to something greater. The keeper gestured towards the depths of the forest, where shadows danced like spirits caught in the moonlight. "To hear the song more clearly, you must be willing to venture forth," she instructed, her voice a melodic guide woven with both authority and gentleness. I stood, heart racing, and took a tentative step forward, drawn by the resonance of the melody that called me deeper into the woods. The path ahead was illuminated by the silver light of the moon, casting curious shapes among the trees, each a guardian of secrets. With each footfall, I felt an awakening, a realization that with every step into the unknown, I was both wielding courage and shedding layers of doubt. As I walked, I began to notice subtle signs: the fluttering of leaves that shimmered like eyes, the gentle croaking of frogs that seemed to sing their own verses in harmony with the unseen melody. The forest was alive, and I was awash in its vibrancy. Suddenly, a soft glow pierced the darkness, revealing a sprawling circle of stones that stood like ancient sentinels. "The stones of reflection," the keeper said, appearing beside me. "Here, you will uncover the signs the universe has placed on your path. Each stone has a story, a lesson carefully inscribed in our shared history." With a sense of reverence, I approached the stones. Each one was unique, adorned with symbols that pulsed with energy. As I reached out to touch the first stone, a surge of warmth traveled through me. Images flooded my mind, vision of my ancestors, their faces painted with the wisdom of trials endured and victories won. "They're reaching out," I whispered, feeling the weight of their experiences settle into my bones. "The past is never truly gone," the keeper explained. "It is woven into the fabric of the present, an integral part of the narrative you are crafting." "What do you learn from their stories?" I closed my eyes, allowing the weight of history to envelop me. Perhaps I could cultivate empathy not only for those around me but for those who had walked before, understanding their struggles as echoes of my own. The realization danced through my heart. Each sacrifice, each joy, and each sorrow contributed to the essence of connection I began to weave. Drawing my hand away, I turned to the next stone. This one shimmered with a tranquil blue hue. Resting my palm against it, I was flooded with visions of water, endless oceans, turbulent rivers, and serene lakes. "It's the flow of life," I said, understanding dawning. "The need for balance, for ebb and flow in relationships." "Indeed," the keeper nodded. To navigate connection, one must understand the rhythms of existence. The tides can rise and fall, but the essence remains constant. What do you seek to express within these tides? I pondered, feeling the pull between individuality and the collective. Did I wish to advocate for my voice while harmonizing with the chorus of others? The question rippled through me, deepening the urgency to find my place in this symphony of existence. With determination, I moved to the next stone, intricately engraved with a tree whose branches reached toward the sky. As I traced the carvings, visions of growth spread before my roots intertwining, branches embracing the heavens. This symbolizes growth and nurture, I realized aloud. To connect, one must also root themselves. Precisely, the keeper affirmed. Connection requires cultivation. Like a tree draws from the earth, you must also nourish your relationships with care and respect. What will you nurture? As I reflected, I felt the warmth of the stones seep into my being, a reminder that nurturing relationships meant tending to the soil of my own spirit, ensuring it flourished in harmony with the world around me. One by one, I engaged with the remaining stones, each a revelation, each a sign bursting with potential. They urged me to see beyond the veil, the flame of passion, the light of truth, the stillness of acceptance, and finally, the shimmering signature of purpose. As I stepped back, I saw the entirety of the circle and allowed its energy to wash over me. The stones felt like anchors in the unfathomable sea of existence, reminding me to hold fast to my roots as I soared toward undiscovered skies. The song of the unseen rose again, intertwining with the wisdom of the stones. The air buzzed with an anticipation I could almost touch. These signs reveal but a glimpse of your journey. What remains unanswered? What will you carry with you as you venture forward? With a heart brimming with newfound clarity, I faced the keeper and the circle of stones. A question loomed, unspoken yet heavy with implication: what sacred path will I forge, and how will I honor the interconnectedness of all life through my choices? The mystery lingered, resonating loudly, as I recognized that the journey was far from over. Each revelation was but a thread in the fabric of my existence, a tapestry yet to be completed. The dawn of understanding whispered promises of what was yet to come, and I knew that the greatest insights often rise from the depths of uncharted spirits. The gentle embrace of the moonlight began to shift, casting a different hue across the forest floor, almost as if a curtain had been raised to unveil yet another layer of existence. The keeper, sensing my contemplative state, smiled knowingly. "Ready yourself for the next chapter of your journey," she said, her voice a soft echo that mingled with the rustling of the trees. As I stepped away from the circle of stones, I could hear the whispers of the forest call out like a distant symphony. Each note held a promise and a challenge. The air shifted again, more palpably this time, carrying with it the scent of earth and something indescribably profound, a hint of knowledge, if only one knew how to listen. I followed the keeper along a winding path, various shadows intertwining with one another, creating a tapestry of light and darkness. The trees became denser, their trunks thicker, as if guarding secrets older than time. I felt the vibration of something powerful coalescing, it resonated within me, beckoning me to pause. Just ahead, I spotted a clearing, softly illuminated by a multicolored light that seemed to pulse with life. "Welcome to the Glade of Whispers," the keeper introduced, leading me into the ethereal space where luminous flowers danced in rhythmic patterns, their petals alive with the energy of unspoken truths. Here, the unseen spirits of the forest share messages tailored uniquely to those who dare to listen. With curiosity swirling in my heart, I knelt beside a striking blue flower that emitted a tranquil hum. As I focused on it, I felt an overwhelming wave of serenity wash over me. Images of past encounters surfaced, each person whose life had intersected with mine, bringing lessons and signs, both subtle and striking. When we share our stories, we breathe life into connection, I murmured, realizing how these encounters had been transformative, shaping not just my journey but theirs as well. The flower seemed to respond, its hum growing softer, almost in agreement. The spirits here amplify your own essence, the keeper explained. But understand, with every echo of your heart, there lies a responsibility to honor these connections. What do the whispers tell you about your path? I closed my eyes for a moment and listened intently. The hum of the flower morphed into the laughter of children, the warmth of embrace, the sorrow of goodbyes, an intricate melody of experiences. They remind me of the fragility of moments, I breathed, the truth settling deeper into my heart. Every interaction is sacred, an opportunity for understanding and growth. In that moment, I felt the gentle nudge of the wind, carrying another revelation, the importance of forgiveness. The spirits encouraged me to release any burdens that choked the flourishing relationships nurtured within my heart. How many times had I held on to past grievances, inadvertently coloring my interactions? The answer surged through me like tidal waves crashing onto a shore, reminding me of the need to cultivate compassion, both for myself and others. The keeper appeared again, drawing me from my reflections. There are 7 sacred signs waiting to unveil deeper truths, a journey beyond the veil, she murmured, her gaze penetrating. Are you prepared to embrace them? A mix of excitement and trepidation ignited within me. What are these signs? I asked, unable to hide my curiosity. Patience, trust, love, courage, acceptance, intuition, and wisdom, she replied, a knowing smile breaking across her face. Each sign represents a facet of the journey you must learn to navigate more consciously. The sheer magnitude of those words hung in the air like a glowing constellation. I recognized that within each sign lay trials, revelations, and encounters that would shape my understanding of existence itself. I felt a familiar tingle at the base of my spine, an awakening that urged me to explore these sacred dimensions. The keeper pointed toward a nearby tree whose bark shimmered with the signs etched upon it, glowing softly as it beckoned me closer. My heart raced as I reached out to touch the first mark, an intricate symbol of patience, circular and flowing. The moment my fingers grazed its surface, a flood of memories broke free, revealing moments where I had battled impatience, moments I had overlooked the beauty of the journey for the sake of the destination. Each time you exercise patience, you carve a pathway for tranquility, the keeper remarked gently. Will you learn to embrace life's rhythm, even when it challenges your desire for immediacy? I pondered, realizing with each heartbeat how patience was not simply a virtue, it was a means to nourish relationships, allowing them to grow in their own time. The truth resonated deeply, a whisper urging me to remember that growth, much like the forest itself, took time. As I continued to interact with the remaining signs, an intricate web of understanding began to unfold. Each symbol revealed a facet of what it meant to be human, the complexities of trust entwined with love, the necessity of courage wrapped in the fabric of acceptance, the soft art of intuition guiding the pursuit of wisdom. Yet as I traced each sign alongside the keeper, a question stirred within, echoing through my spirit. What is the balance between the lessons of these signs and the unfolding of my own unique journey? With every revelation encountering another layer of mystery, I contemplated how the unseen intricacies of fate intertwined with my personal choices. I stood there, suspended between knowing and unknowing, feeling the weight of inspiration blossoming within, a reminder that every answer begets a new question. What more awaited me in the heart of this journey, hidden within the shadows of the forest and the depths of my own spirit? The forest stood motionless around me, a sacred hush enveloping the air as the keeper of the signs settled beside me once more. I felt an unyielding energy coursing through my being, an awakening of truths that yearned to be noticed. Each sign we had encountered, each lesson cradling its own weight of significance, seemed to converge through an intersection of paths, a tapestry woven with threads of my journey and the collective consciousness of existence. Though the night was far from over, I sensed something monumental about to transpire. "You have gathered wisdom," the keeper began, her voice a soft pulse against the quietude. "Yet every journey has an apex, a moment that calls for clarity and understanding your awakening." My heart quickened as I became aware of my place within this sacred venture. I was both a seeker and a guide, connected not only to the path of my journey but to the interwoven destinies of all beings who had come before and would follow. With a gentle nod, the keeper stepped back, allowing the shimmering space between us to transform. The air became thick with possibilities, the very essence of existence humming with vibrancy. I closed my eyes, each breath a deliberate caress of the soul, and let the weight of everything I had learned thread itself into clarity. Suddenly, vivid images spiraled before Mephises intertwined with laughter and tears, moments etched in the essence of joy and pain that enriched my heart. I saw my past, every decision and every surrender, layered like the rings of the ancient trees surrounding me. They told stories of resilience and growth, branches stretching toward the sky while roots dug deep into the earth. With each layer, my understanding unfurled like the petals of a flower awakening to the dawn, and then, like the final brushstroke on a masterpiece, came the revelation that surged through me, a powerful truth that shattered the confines of fear and doubt. The signs were forged not as rigid markers of fate but as intricate pathways carved from love and intention, gently guiding souls toward self-discovery and divine connection. I realized then, the journey was not about the fear of loss or the longing for answers. It was a spiral dance, a celebration of existence itself. Opening my eyes, I gazed up into the forest canopy. The moonlight filtered through the branches, illuminating the path I had traveled and the uncharted territory still ahead. The keeper stood beside me, her expression soft yet resolute, reflecting the understanding I had begun to grasp. "You are ready now," she whispered, "to become a beacon of light for others seeking their own signs. Remember, the journey is not merely inward, it expands outward." As I absorbed her words, an overwhelming peace washed over me, swaying my heart into a rhythm that pulsed with the universe. The melody crescendoed, and in that moment, I felt the weight of existence settle around me, a reminder that every soul was a note in the cosmic song, harmonizing with each other in a symphony infinitely greater than its parts. I began to understand that the truth of life transcended the confines of physicality and time. Death was not an ending, it was a transformation, an unveiling, a continuation of the sacred dance that binds us all in a tapestry of love, experiences, and consciousness. The forest, the signs, the keeper, they were not just symbols of my journey, they were mirrors reflecting our shared quest, a testament to the unseen paths cradling the essence of what it means to truly live. With my heart alight and my spirit unfurled, I turned back toward the keeper, a sense of purpose igniting within me. I could become a storyteller, an architect of connections, bridging the space between fear and love. The power of empathy, forgiveness, and understanding echoed in my veins, a call to action that urged me to honor this newfound wisdom by embodying the very essence of what I had learned. As I stepped away from the clearing, the signs fading softly into the shadows, I understood the thread woven through every moment of my life. It was an invitation to trust myself, to embrace the consistency of uncertainty, and to ignite the brilliance residing within my heart. I had awakened, yet the journey had merely begun, a journey rich with possibilities to explore, to share, and to inspire. In that stillness, as the dawn of a new understanding broke upon me, clarity settled in with an unexpected warmth. The essence of life flows, ever shifting and ever evolving, inviting us to embrace each moment as sacred. And so, guided by the light of the signs, I took my first step beyond the forest, knowing that my path harmonized with the vast unfolding story of existence. The universe awaited, whispering secrets yet to be uncovered, and the greatest revelation of all blossomed within me. To live is to love and to share, to surrender and to grow, for in every journey lies the heartbeat of life itself. Here, in the embrace of the eternal forest, I found the truth that transcended time and space. Love is the ultimate sign, our guide, our teacher, our destiny.